Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome to another episode of the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast. I'm Jenny Bellinger, your direct sales dom. The topic for today is I always win, and so do you. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't always feel like a winner unless you change how you think about the losses. It's my experience that many people hold a win or lose mindset. In any given situation, somebody can only win or lose. Now, some people maintain a win or lose or tie mindset, which leaves room for an outcome to be neutral, neither a win or a loss. But very few maintain a win-win mindset consistently. And what this means to me is that in any given situation, I win or I learn. And in my opinion, those learns are bigger wins than a win because we grow more from a painful situation where we didn't win. Thomas Edison famously attempted thousands of versions of the light bulb. Now, I don't know how true this story is or whatever, but this is what I looked up and found. So when he was asked by a reporter about all of his failures, his response was, "I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work." That must have been really frustrating. And I highly doubt he went through 10,000 versions of the light bulb, but he probably went through a lot, hundreds maybe. Maybe he went through a few thousand. I honestly, I don't know. I obviously wasn't there. But that must have been incredibly frustrating to go through that. And yet, it doesn't seem like it got him down. And he ended up inventing the light bulb, which was a life and world-changing invention. So imagine if you stopped grousing about your ways that didn't work, celebrate the fact that you tried and failed and learned what not to do, and then moved on to the next idea. Thomas Edison also said, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Because those who don't give up are those who celebrate their attempts and move on. They stick with it until they win. Take a moment and think about the people that you see as successful in direct sales. Now, I bet if you went to go ask them if they were always successful, many, if not all of them, will answer with an emphatic no. Now, keep in mind that if you're very early in your direct sales business, you might be comparing your chapter 1 or 2 to this successful person's chapter 42, or maybe chapter 143. Now, how is that fair to you? You are just getting started. You're a toddler. And they are essentially Olympic athletes compared to you right now. But guess what? They fumbled over words and screwed up and had parties where nobody showed up, put posts on social media that drew crickets. But it all happened when they started. And they learned from their mistakes and they grew. And most importantly, they didn't give up. So my request as your direct sales dom is to give yourself grace when you lose. Sit back, forgive yourself, review the situation and learn from it. Then count it in the win column. Because I always win, and so do you. Stay tuned for another badass episode next week.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.